Hello everyone, my name is Sarah Cahill and welcome back to my channel. Today is the day that I have been putting off, ignoring for the past couple of months. Today is the day that I finally step back into the query trenches. I have been in the query trenches once before with And So We Covet, aka Thrice a Broken Oath, aka Project Body Swap. That was a good couple of years ago, and I'm happy that I've done this once before, because now I can go in knowing what to expect, and I can go in knowing that I'm going to have to be waiting weeks before I get a response, if I get a response at all whatsoever. I am very, very determined to get this all done today. Just today. Today is the only day that I'm going to be working on this. So today is the only day that I've got to finish doing this and start the querying process, because I know in my heart of hearts that if this extends past one day, I'm going to stop doing it. I have the motivation to do it today, so I'm going to work myself ragged, hopefully not, but you know what I mean, in order to get this done. I have 3 things that I need to do today. The first one is to write a cover letter, which is not so difficult. I don't mind writing cover letters. I already have an elevator pitch in order to go with the cover letter, so I don't need to worry about that. Number 2, the bane of my existence. I need to write a synopsis. I hate writing synopsises. I hate writing a synopsis. They suck. I hate them. It is unfortunately a necessary evil that I have to commit. So number 2, the synopsis. And number 3, I need to prepare all of my individual novel documents in order to send off. And by that I mean every single agent that I want to query doesn't want just 10,000 words. Some of them want the first 10 pages, some of them want the first 2 chapters, the first 3 chapters. I have a lot of individual documents to get ready in order to just have them ready for when I need to send them off. I don't mind the extra work. It'll give me extra time to sort of go through and reread those first few pages that I need to in order to make sure it is the best that it can be, in order to grab the attention of the agents. We are going to get into this stupid synopsis. That is the one that I'm least looking forward to, so that is the one that I'm going to do first. So we'll do synopsis, cover letter, and then we'll work on the different documents I need to send off. Let's go. I hate synopsises. They suck. I have like 4 tabs open on the internet with how to write a synopsis. And it's a 1-page synopsis as well. So it's not like I can add absolutely everything into this without giving the sparsest amount of detail to everything that happens. But then it's like, what part of the plots are the most important? What is it that they need to know to understand the pacing of the plot and how the plot goes? And when you think about it, Abingdon House, it's quite simple. Hazel is adopted. She finds out that she's the heir to one of the magical houses, Abingdon House, and she has to complete 3 magical trials in order for the rest of the magical houses to accept this 12-year-old as the head of the house. And that is the plot of Abingdon House in its most basic form. But then you need to add things like, and how do you add things naturally? Like, you know, Hazel's character arc, and, you know, put in that and to see that she is growing. How do you put in all of the subplots which, you know, don't really seem that important on their own, but which have a very big impact on the end of the novel? Because I can't detail all of these subplots as they happen. in the story in order for the ending to make sense. Because with the synopsis, they want all of the twists and turns, and they need to know exactly how it ends. So what do I keep and what do I omit? What is important for the agent to know? And everything else in there can be a surprise if they want to read the full manuscript. What do I just leave out entirely? And some places say you need to name all of the important characters, and then other places are like, don't name all the characters. There's two, don't have too many characters. I have 5 main characters I need to mention because they are the 5 main characters and they are important throughout the entirety of the novel. But then there's also a couple of other characters who play an important role, at least one other character who plays an important role at the end of the book. So do I need to name them? But the scene in which they are introduced is not important in the grand scheme of things. So do I name them right at the very end? Do I name them at all? Can I keep this 1 page long? Oh, I hate synopsis so much. Don't start regretting this already, Sarah. Don't regret it already. Don't do it. Just truck on. I'm gonna truck on, and I'm gonna truck on by not working on the synopsis anymore and working on the cover letter, because I know that I can do that, and that'll give me my I can do the cover letter really quickly, and then trudge back to the blimmin' synopsis and finish that. I had thought that I just needed the elevator pitch. Easy, that's done. The synopsis, still trying to work on that. And the cover letter, which I have completed, so that is done. But no, I don't just need that, because one of the agents that I want to query requires a blurb. Thanks. Didn't want to work on that as well. I don't want to work on a blurb, but now I have to. I also have to have 2 different versions of my cover letter, which is also frustrating, and it's only for like 1 or 2 out of the 15 agents that I need to query. But the majority of them just want an elevator pitch, and then a couple of them want comps, so I'm just going to leave the comps in, or like I can see it sitting alongside such titles as etc, etc, etc. Although to be fair, the titles I can see it sitting alongside, one of them is also in my comps. Nevermore meets the Inheritance games. Yeah, I have comps for this. I never have comps for any of my novels because I don't read enough. It was given to me by someone else though, so there we go. So yeah, one of them is just like that, which is fine. That is my standard cover letter. And then someone else wants a sort of like extended elevator pitch. I can't remember specifically how they said it because I'm not looking at the page, but they want the elevator pitch and then a little bit more about the plot, which I suppose is 2 separate elevator pitches that I have, which is fine. And then obviously there's the blurb. You know, I'm not even going to get into it. I just have to add that to my list now. So that's 4 things I've got to do, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Oh, just day just keeps getting longer and longer. It's fine. I don't know what I said I was going to do. Cover letter, done, fine. I've finished that. That was easy enough. Blurb. Do I want to start working on a blurb, or do I want to go back to the evil synopsis? Let me go back to the evil synopsis. The way that I've been doing the synopsis at the moment is I have separated it into the introduction to the characters and her motivation or her want, the inciting incident, a bit of body about, or a couple of paragraphs about, you know, the main plot, and then the resolution to everything. And I'm sort of following that set way of doing the things in order to get everything sorted, and that is sort of helping me keep track. It's like its own little mini, you know, Save the Cat writes a bloody synopsis. I have most of the first chapter. I've got most of the first paragraph, which is the introduction to Hazel. Trying to make the first sentence work was difficult, but I've got at the moment, Hazel, 12, loves her adoptive family but doesn't feel she quite fits. So that plays in nicely to the whole sort of struggles she starts having with, is she a Cooper, which is her adoptive family, is she really in Abingdon, that she goes through what family does she truly fit into, thing that goes on within the novel. And then she can't help but want to know more about the people who gave her up, is afraid to say it out loud, which is very much stated in the novel itself. That's her thing that she's been searching for. And then we introduce her friends Archie and Sapphire, in which I do need to give them a description. Archie is easy. Archie's a mermaid. Sapphire is a human. I can't say, was Archie a mermaid and Sapphire a human? I can't say that, so I need to think of a descriptor for Sapphire. And then they're rescued, and then they find out she's the heir. So that's the first paragraph done. I know a few of the paragraphs are going to be describing in vague detail the 3 trials, and then what happens right at the end. And it's sort of filling in everything in between, trying to put in emotion or thought processes where I can, so we can sort of try and see Hazel's mindset as she's going through all of this. But I don't want to do that too much, because I don't really, for the first trial, Hazel is feeling this, and then they do this, and the second trial, Hazel is feeling this. So I want to try and make it so at the beginning Hazel feels one way, and then after she finds out she's the heir to Abingdon House, she feels another way, and then she does the trials. And then obviously, like in her darkest moment, for example, she feels this way, and then realization to help her then move forward and do what she needs to do. Something, actually, no, that would fit, actually. See, I'm just talking my way into everything that I need to do, which is absolutely fantastic. Let me get this done. Let me work a little bit more on the synopsis until I grow tired of working on the synopsis, and then we'll get to doing all the documents. So I stopped doing work on everything I needed to do work on, and instead I decided to set up my query tracker. Don't ask me why, I just felt like I needed to do it. Very, very simple. I just did it in Google Docs. I suppose technically Google spreadsheets, whatever. The agency that I'm going to be querying to, the agent that I'm going to be querying to, a lot of them have specific agents I need to send to. A good few of them I just need to send it to the agency themselves, and they will pass it on to who they feel would like it. So that's another weight off my shoulders. I don't have to research agents for each and every single one I want to send off. The date that I sent it, if they have a request for the full manuscript, and for when it is rejected. Very quick, very simple, very easy. Can access it anywhere I go. Wasn't bothered to put it in a notebook this time because, you know, I don't want to have to revert to an old notebook like next year when I'm inevitably still doing this to sort of update the tracker. So there you go. Simple, simple, simple. That's all I need. I literally pulled every single middle grade novel that I had that was a first in a series off my shelf, so I could read the blurbs to see how it needed to go. And of course all of them are stupidly different. I went with a simpler one than I would maybe more of a detailed one, and I have sort of written the blurb for the book. I'm scrolling behind looking for it. That's why I'm so distracted right now. It is only really short. Tools, word count. It's only 83 words long. That is my blurb. It's 83 words long, which I feel is fine because it is technically 2 paragraphs, which when you stick it on the back of the book will seem like quite a long, it will fill up a page depending on how big the writing. Either way, that's my blurb. I have spoken about Hazel Cooper and I have done her thing. Hazel Cooper longs to find something that will make her fit. She never imagined that something would be inheriting one of the 5 great magical houses from a birth family she never knew existed. She is the rightful heir to Abingdon House, but in order to claim her seat and save her papa, who is frozen in time, she must complete 3 magical trials to prove her worth. Hazel accepts the challenge. She anticipates the challenge. She does not, however, anticipate the sabotage. I ummed and ahed so much about if I needed to add another sentence or something else after that last line, but I feel like that last line sort of sets up everything. Like, someone's trying to stop her from doing what she's going to do. That adds a sort of mystery element to the novel, and it sort of describes everything that she's got to do. She's got to do the 3 trials. That's the book. There's sabotage, so that introduces mystery, and that's the book in its most basic form, I suppose, which also helpfully does include some of the subplot that happens in it. Apart from me umming and ahhing how I wanted to go about it, that was actually easier than I thought it would be. And now all that is left for me to do is finish the stupid synopsis, which I'm still working on because I still think it sounds stupid. And I think there's still a few more details I need to put in it to make it sound a bit better. So I'm going to get some tea and I'm going to reluctantly work on that, and then we're gonna set up my documents, and then we're gonna start the actual process. It's almost time, and there it is, everything that I need in order to send off the queries. 2 chapters, 3 chapters, 10 pages, oh gosh, 10,000 words, 50 pages, cover letter which has my blurb in there as well, and the synopsis, the bane of my existence, which I have finished, and it sounds okay and I'm not bothered to look at it anymore. My synopsis is a page in Times New Roman. I hate using Times New Roman, but I figure, you know, let's use a, you know, official font for it, and is 542 words long. It's fine, it's a page. It details everything I need to. It has Hazel's character arc and her, I don't know, emotional arc in it as well, I guess. It details everything I need it to detail regarding the main plot. It has, you know, a paragraph on a little bit of the subplot, which fits together at the end. No other characters named. It reads fine, it sounds fine. Let's now get to the actual hard part, which I don't think I'm going to find that hard. Just actually sending these off. I've got 15 at the moment, so I'm just going to do groups of 5, and my plan is the same as my last plan was. I'm going to send 5 out, and when I hear back from one, or the time passes, which they said that they'd get back to me like in 8 to 12 weeks, you'll hear from us. Anything past 12 weeks, consider it a no. When that happens, then I'll send out 1 more. So I should always have 5 queries out there to the different agents at the same time. I think that's a good number. Again, I've only got 15 at the moment. I could add a couple more, 2, 3 or 4 more when they do start querying, which I think is closer to August, so 3 or 4 weeks, and I can add those to my list as well. Although hopefully the ones currently on my list don't stop accepting queries when I reach them in the list, because then it'll be like, oh, I should have queried you first, but I don't know. That's rambling. Let's get to going and doing the thing. Are we ready? First query that we are sending off in 3, 2, 1. And we're done. Yeah, that definitely wasn't as difficult as the first times that I sent off my queries. I've sort of gotten over, I suppose, the fear of it. Much like, you know, sending off your stuff to be read by someone else for the first time. The first few times you do it, you're freaking scared to do it because you don't want the negativity, you don't want the criticism or anything like that. I want you to like my stuff. But with that, it was like, yep, let's just go through the motions. Let me add everything I need to add. Alter my cover letter slightly, so it fits in and, you know, makes sense with what that specific agent is asking for, which is, here are your 3 pages, 10 chapters, blah blah blah, included like you've asked, which I find very helpful. And then yeah, it's just a matter of copy and pasting everything, altering those little things, addressing it to the correct person, and sending it off. And I need to do that 4 more times. And then the waiting game begins. Again. It feels weird to be back in the query trenches, but it also feels good to be back in the query trenches. I just hope that once again I'm not jumping the gun in regards to everything. Like, I know that Abingdon House is in a good place, but that doesn't mean that they're gonna think it's in a good place. But it is all subjective at the end of the day. Lovely jubbly. I don't know if I'm going to keep anybody updated about what happens. I think last time I did like a year's update, mostly because nothing happened, you know, so whether or not I will keep everyone updated about how this goes or not, I don't know. We shall see. So I'm going to go finish off the rest of those submissions and try to wait patiently for anything to come back. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully it wasn't too rambly, and I'll see you in my next video. Good thoughts and happy writing.